right, folks, Drive Radio fans, John Rush, your host today. Richard Rush, my son behind the camera. This is a review of the 2016 Ram Rebel. Now, this is a car that we're only going to have for 24 hours. So we're going to do the best we can to cover as much of it. I did have an opportunity to drive this vehicle this past summer at an event we were at, but I have not spent a ton of time behind the vehicle. Although I do add, I'll give a disclaimer, I own a 3500, a Ram 3500 Cummins diesel, so I know a lot about the interior and so on in this particular vehicle. But let's walk around the outside of this again. 2016 Ram Rebel. Now the Rebel has, as you can see, different front end, different hood with the scoops in it, and it still has the really nice projection lamps in the front, just like my truck has. Really a nice unit. This particular truck, 1 inch higher, you know, for off-roading and so on. So one inch higher ride height, I should say. Air suspension all the way around. Toyo tires, which Richard was just showing you. This particular model does have the Ram box, which we'll get into here in just a second, which locks and unlocks with the rest of the vehicle. This is the crew cab model. That's the only way they do the Rebel truck, is in a crew cab. As you can see, it has different badging in the back. They've got the Rebel, they've got the raised Ram right on top, blacked out bumpers, just some cool features that they've done. Again, this truck competes, or trying to compete with, the Raptor and some of those vehicles in the class, the Tundra TRD and so on. We'll go through a few of the differences that are on this truck versus some of its competitors. Real quick, I'll just give you my opinion. What do I think of the Ram Rebel? I like this truck. I like the Ram interior. I'll go through some of that here in just a minute and show you what I mean by that. I think it's got one of the most functional interiors of any of the vehicles that are out there, partially why I actually bought one. At any rate, I'll tell you what, we'll go through the interior. I want to walk you through some of the back, some of the tailgate, things along those lines, and then we'll finish up with the drive on the 2016 Ram Rebel. All right, folks, so we're just going to continue on with the review. I'll do the driving portion at the very end of the review. We're going to change things up just a little bit. Again, we've only had this vehicle for just a little bit of time, less than 24 hours. So, as I said earlier, Ram box locks, unlocks with the key fob, or the door locks inside. So once it's unlocked, hit the button, raises up. There's all type of accessories, all kind of accessories, I should say, that you can buy for the Ram box. There's all sorts of images on YouTube and so on where you can see guys stacking, you know, beer, Pepsi, things like that inside of here. It is lighted, shuts on and off as you close the lid. There's dividers and accessories. You can put gun racks and all sorts of things in here. It's really a handy unit. I do like the Ram box. I didn't get it on my vehicle, on my particular truck. Mainly because of some of the bed space that you lose. So as we go around the back here, I'll show you what I mean by that. Now, here's a knock on this particular truck. So Ram, Dodge, if you guys are listening, Fiat, I guess I should say, one of the things that I think you need to improve on is this: there is no easy lift tailgate. So if I just let this tailgate down, it just slams down on the cables, and it doesn't have an easy lift. A lot of the newer trucks, the trucks that it's competing with, they've got a spring-loaded gate, if you would, and it's kind of an easy up, easy down gate. Now, this particular truck does come with a spray and liner. It's got the track system inside of it, and this particular unit, you can slide all the way to the back, actually hang it out on here on the tailgate. It gives you more room inside the bed if you need to, because this is the shorter version of the bed on this particular truck. The rails are adjustable for tie downs, but you will notice one thing about this truck. Now, you still can get a full sheet of plywood in here, but the one thing you have to notice is on this particular truck, when you do the Ram box, you lose, you know, you notice there's no wheel wells in here. So you'll notice it's just a flat, straight box because all the wheel well area is being taken up by the Ram box. Some of you guys, that may not be a big issue. For some of you that want some of that extra room inside of the actual bed itself, it may be an issue. One of the other things too, that just me personally, when you look at the truck down the side, just me, I don't like having the creases in the body. I just think it detracts from the looks of the truck. I like the smooth look of the bed itself versus having the creases for the lid. Again, that's just me personally. A lot of people love the Ram box. It is, I think, Richard, $1,200 option. He's shaking his head, yes, $1,200 option if you do the Ram box. So I'll tell you what, we'll jump inside and I'll show you some of the interior features. All right, folks, we're going to try something here on the key fob. You'll notice that there's actually an ability to actually lower the truck right on the key fob. So if I hit this button twice, you'll notice the front end's going down, and we're not sure about the back end. The back end's now following it. So you'll notice that the whole truck is actually going to lower down. Makes it easier if you're loading stuff in and out of the truck, trying to get people into the cab, things along those lines. So now that it's lowered, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to jump into the back seat, and you can see how much lower it is. So if you've got somebody that maybe is a little bit more challenged, an older person, you know, something along those lines. You're trying to get somebody in and out of the truck. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you right now, being lower does make stepping in and out of the truck very easy. So that's a great feature that this truck's got on it. One thing I will say, I love the Rebel interior, the color. As Richard pans out here onto the door panel, you'll notice that, you know, the red, you know, the anodized red against the black. They just have done a nice job. Storage capacity down here. Of course, the speaker in the back, the red trim seats. Really, they've really done a nice job. There's a power port back here in the back. Console that I fold down here in the middle with a couple of cup holders. And this seat does, I'll show you this in a minute. By the way, lots of room in the back of this. Plenty of room. Easy getting in, easy getting out. And the seat does fold up. And the one thing I still love about Ram, there's a storage compartment underneath here. Get this unsnapped. Storage compartment underneath. And if I snap this back down so that it stays, they've got this where it folds out into a really nice flat floor. So you fold this down, and you've got a nice flat floor, and you can do it all the way across, which really, honestly, works out really well. So they do a nice job on it. They've got a tire tread pattern that's built into the seat. Again, looks good. They've done a great job on the interior of this truck. I love the Ram interior, so I'll just tell you what, we'll just jump around the front seat and I'll show you what's going on up there. All right, folks, we're now in the front seat. And real quick, Richard just showed you a minute ago the tire tread, which is the Toyo tread pattern. So you're looking at the pattern on the seat. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up really well. Nice Rebel logo, you know, right into the seat. Again, nice job on these. They've done a super job. Comfortable. I like the Dodge interior, the Ram interior really well. And I apologize, those of you that are going to crucify me for saying Dodge, you got to remember you know, how old I am, and I've grown up with, you know, Dodge trucks being Dodge trucks. So I realize they're Ram now, different division of Chrysler, FCA, you know, Fiat Chrysler. I get that. So it's a Ram. I get that. It's all over the place. That's the branding they're doing. As I raise the console, upper lid, it's a 2-compartment system, which I really like. So there's USB connectors in here, power port, place for your coin, your change. And this is fairly deep. It's deeper than you think. You can actually, again, owning the truck myself, you can get quite a bit of items in this top area. Close that down, and then you also have this full deep area, which in my particular case, I've got my two-way radio that I've mounted in here because we plow snow and do things like that. So I've got my two-way radio mounted in here. I've got a permanent flashlight that charges in here. Lots of room, lots of capability. I love the way the console is divided up. Come up to the front, you've got your 2 cup holders here. This is a really deep storage compartment. It actually goes back underneath the dash. They've done a really nice nifty thing anymore now on these where a new feature for, I believe it's 2016. You can put the phone in here. If the cord's coming in here to charge, you can still charge through the slot. The cool thing about this is even with me pushing snow or doing whatever I do, your phone just doesn't come out. It's a great place to set your phone. You can see what you need to do. Everything is right there. Wirelessly connects Bluetooth into the Uconnect system. And the other thing I like about this is I've actually got a really big water bottle that I'm typically carrying around. And in most vehicles, there's no place to set it. In this truck, this happens to be wide enough for those of you that carry around some of the big, you know, stainless steel water bottles. Mine's a dual insulated water bottle. It sits down, believe it or not, right in this particular area. Again, they've got done a really great job on designing the interior of the Ram trucks. Dual compartments over here. As you can see, I can still reach those inside the cab. So dual compartments for the glove box, which they do a nice job of. Little shelf here, 110 power port here. All of your controls for whatever you want to do with the truck is here. This has a single climate control. It is not dual. Your big 8.4-inch Uconnect screen, which you've seen us do reviews on that in the past. I'm not going to get into that, you know, too hard today. It's a great system. I am a big fan of the Chrysler Fiat Ram system. I think it's one of the best that's out there. You'll notice there's no gear shift on here. It's all done with the knob, just like they use on the 200s and the 300s, which I really like. And your four-wheel drive selector is all right here. As far as your raising and lowering, you just saw us lower the vehicle down a minute ago to get in. That's all done through these buttons right here. And you also have the heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Tow haul mode is also right there, and your brake controller is built in right here. So looking at the dash, again, it's hard to get all the pictures of this, but they've just done a fantastic job of laying all this out. Nice leather, you know, surfaces, soft tough surfaces on top. Another little storage compartment here. Ram, I mean, I think you've got one of the best interiors. I went through all the different trucks that were on the market before I bought mine. I've got a 2016 3500, which we'll do a review on here in the near future. I bought a Mega Cab. Part of the reason for that was Mega Cab and all the interior features that Ram has that really, quite frankly, everybody else doesn't have as far as I'm concerned. Let's go take a quick drive and I'll show you how the truck works and runs. This has the 5.7 Hemi in it. We'll go for a ride. All right, folks, going to take a drive now. As I go into reverse, you'll notice the backup camera will come on. It does have the dynamic grid lines, we like to say. Shows you right where you're at. The other nice thing about it is if you're hooking a trailer or anything up, you can get right into where you need to be as far as driving a trailer goes. Now, I'm still in the low mode because I set that on the key fob, and you'll notice that the light here is still on for that. I'm going to hit that and make it go back up because I don't want to be in that low sitting mode as we're driving now. So I'm going to let the truck go ahead and raise back up to its normal ride height. I'll put it in drive now. This will go off, and I can feel the truck already starting to raise up. I'm not sure you can with the camera, but we can feel the truck raising as we speak. So I'll let it get leveled out here, and then we'll start to go. And Richard, if you can, get a real good shot here of the dash. They've done a great job with the red bezels around all the gauges and your LCD screen in the middle, which you can cycle through. Shows you all the different things. You can go kilometers, miles per hour. If I go back down to that, I can scroll back over to miles per hour versus kilometers. And there's also a bunch of different settings here. You can read trans temp, fuel economy, all the different things that you want to have. All of that's right at your fingertips as you're driving. Volume controls, everything for the radio is right behind here. And again, it's a great system. Sound system, everything, the way the Uconnect works, they've done a great job. One thing they do not have as of yet, they're talking about this in the future, no CarPlay in this particular vehicle yet. They're talking about adding it, but it's not been added yet. So I'll be quiet for just a minute. You can hear the interior quietness of the truck, and the ride quality actually on this half-ton truck is really pretty well for as big a truck as it is. Truck drives well, rides well. As I said, I'm not going to get a lot of time in this truck because we've only got it for a day, but I drove it quite a bit this past summer. The air suspension works fantastic. It's got great on-road control, off-road control. You know, it really works well. About the only other thing you could think of buying in the Ram line that would actually probably surpass this, if you want to go up to the 3/4 ton, 1 ton version, would be to step up into a 2500 Power Wagon, which then gives you locking front and rear diffs, winch, you know, all the different things. But you got to go up to a 2500, 3500 series truck, which again, the ride quality is not going to be what it is in this half-ton series. This particular truck here, the ride quality is great. Interior noise is fantastic. You know, what do I think of the Ram Rebel? It's a great truck. In fact, it's a truck that I voted for the 2016 Truck of the Year in our particular area here. It's one of the trucks, or it is the truck that I actually voted for because I like the truck so much. So, tell you what, with that, let's head on back. And, well, actually, no, we're going to end the review. We're done. We've already done my opinion. We've done the interior. We've done the exterior. So this is it. I tell you what, if you want to know more about this particular truck, go check it out at your local Ram dealer. Let them know that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.